All right, this video is to give you instructions on how to put the pieces of your apron together. First, I want you to notice that I have not sewed my pocket on. I've pinned my pocket on, all right? So I'm going to sew, and you should have sewn the edges of your pocket down already. And I'm going to top stitch. I have it pinned. I'm going to top stitch along the three sides. Don't want to top stitch the front, the top close. And then I am also going to put a stitch up the center of my pocket so that I actually have two pockets on that part of my apron. I also put, no I didn't. I thought I put one up in the top, but I didn't. So if you would put one up in the top, you want to sew your pockets on before you put any of the other pieces together, okay? So now we're going to pretend my pocket is sewn on, and now I'm going to take my sashes and my neck loop and I'm going to pin them on. So I have the finished edge of the loop that's already all sewn toward the center, and the unfinished edge is sticking off just beyond the edge of my apron front. So I've got it's on the top on the right side of the fabric, and you notice I have about a finger's width of fabric above it, so that as I'm sewing this seam, I don't sew on top of this. All right, I'll sew right next to it, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I've pinned it and where it's going to get sewn, and once again I lost the space for sewing on this seam without running over it. All right, now I'm going to take all of this stuff and I will roll it up and pin it there so it doesn't get in the way when I'm sewing. And then I come up to the neck and I want to make sure it doesn't move. So you notice I actually have two pins. This one doesn't have the little pin head, it's just got a little flat head, and the other pin, and then I have two pins here to hold it in place the way I want it to as I'm sewing. Now this is all ready for me to put the lining against. So the right side is up, wrong side, back side is down. Okay, so now I'm going to put the camera down for just a minute. Okay, now you can see I have the lining laying on my pattern. It's all matched up at the corners. It's matched up at the corner. I folded it back just so that you could see, but I need to fold this all the way down in place, line it up so it all matches. And if things are a little bit too long, that's fine. When you sew it, you just want it to be totally smooth. All right, so now it's all in place all the way around, so you can see right now my lining is just white. So if you had a print, you would want the print side to be against the print side of your front piece, okay? And then you're going to go around and pin so it stays in place as you sew. So let me throw my pins on here. Okay, so I went around and I put my pins in so that it's ready for me to sew the two pieces together. And you'll see that I went all the way around. I'm at the bottom, so let me get way out so you can see. I'm at the bottom. Here's the center. And you notice this pin, all the rest I put in with the heads at the center and the points at the edge. This one I put the head out at the edge and the point in the center. The reason I did that is it tells me stop, don't go beyond there. So I sew from here. I'll go all the way around the apron, all the way down to the bottom edge, and come over, and I will stop here. I didn't put the pins in there yet. I ran out of pins in my hand. So I will stop. I'll have this whole section will be left opened. I won't sew it shut, okay? And that's so I can turn it right side out. So you need to sew that way all the way around, And then you will come back and you will reach inside here. Reach inside and just pull the whole thing out that hole to turn it right side out. And then you're going to press it all nice and flat. Okay, after you have sewn around the outside of your apron and left the bottom open, you want to press the bottom seam up so that you've got a nice crisp fold where it opens. See how? All right, so what I did was I put it on the ironing board and I pressed this side up and then I flipped it and I pressed this side up. So both sides are pressed up, okay? Another thing you want to do is anytime you sew curves and you turn it right side out, they don't want to lay the way you want. So this is not crucial to this apron, but it will be crucial when you put sleeves in things and that. So you want to make a habit of taking your scissors. Let me grab mine. All right, taking your scissors, clipping the curves. See, I'm not clipping all the way to the thread. I'm clipping just about three quarters of the way. All right, so just every so often. I'm doing mine about an inch and a half apart. And this just makes it lay flat when you turn it right side out. So you clip the curves. You don't have to clip anything but the curves. Swing it around. I'm going to do the other side. Clip the curves. And the reason this happens is, let me pull that seam straight in a second. All right. If I can do this with two hands. Come over this way so that I'm not creating a shadow. All right, see when I pull that straight, you can see that the slits that I made, they all separate. So when I turn this right side out, it's wrong side out now. When I turn it right side out, it's going to do that same kind of thing, and this will allow it to stretch to where it needs to go. All right, now go ahead and stick your hand in the opening and turn it all right side out. Okay, once you've turned it right side out, now you see that your edges are kind of like little balloons. You want to take it to the ironing board and press it flat so that all the edges are right at the seam line. So you may have to roll it a little bit. Sorry about that. You may have to roll it with your fingers a little bit to get it to get the seams to come all the way out to the edge like that, okay? You don't want to be able to see any white on the front and any of the back on the front or any of the front on the back when you iron it.